Hello and welcome. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. Today, I am talking about wholeness. Wholeness is our theme, and oh my goodness, we could spend months and months, actually years, right, on different perspectives related to wholeness. We're going to just take one today, I'm going to call it a fun one because it's something that I just made a couple of fun connections with this morning. And so I'm very excited to share them while they're really fresh. Um, I know that it's going to sound very trite and, maybe boring when I say you are unique. You know this, right? There's no other person, there never was or will be, that is exactly like you. Your energy, your preferences, your personality, all the aspects of your energy. Okay, but that's our starting point, is really just remembering into that and just stay with that thought, like you are unique, for a moment. Okay, now I want you to think back. Maybe it was a week, maybe it was a few decades, for me many decades, about the first expectations that were put on you. Okay, the first expectations. And I'm not saying that expectations are always all bad, but just feel into the first expectations. Okay, and now I'm going to tell you a couple of personal stories, actually, to um, illustrate some things that can happen to us and that we might unwittingly do to our children too. But primarily today, my focus is on you. So I'm going to remember back. It was a few decades ago now, actually, at my I won't say my first job, but one of my first big jobs. I was a management consultant, and I was working in New York City, and I was working on this project with this manager who, I didn't know how old she was, but I knew she was a few years older than me. And I think she was pregnant at the time, and I was looking up to her. I was nowhere near yet a mom. And it came time for our end of the project review. And she had been wonderful, really, she really saw herself as a mentor for me, and she really wanted to help me do well. So I knew all the best intentions. So we go out to lunch, as was the custom, to have the project feedback session. And she was making sure that I understood all the things that I did well, and that's all great, but I'm waiting for the hammer to drop, right? And I don't remember anything else, but what I do remember that she said was, Teresa, you really might want to reconsider your laugh. And I remember thinking to myself, what word did she just say? Because I thought she said laugh, and clearly, well, no, she couldn't have said that. And she did. I asked her to repeat, and she said, yeah, your laugh. Sometimes it's a little bit loud and it's a little unprofessional, air quotes there. And I really wanted to hear what she had to say. So I asked her a few more questions, and I got all that. I got all her feedback, and I knew it was coming from a very good place. And I knew that she knew that this was a personal nugget that she was giving me, but she was convinced that this was the right thing for me. If I wanted to get ahead, I needed to be more professional. And so that's one example. For my part, I did not take her feedback. I very consciously, I thought about it. I kind of put it in front of me and I looked at it from a number of angles, and I just thought, I'm not like nutty, goofy, clowny person when I'm with the clients. I have a sense of humor. And I thought about this and I just thought, you know what? I appreciate that she felt like it was safe enough to share that with me. And I'm going to completely disregard that in terms of taking it. I will always have that in the back of my mind. And now I'm using it in a cool illustration here. So I decided not to take it. And I might have worked with that manager one more time. We certainly, we crossed paths here and there and had a lot high regard for each other. But that wasn't something that I was prepared to do, and she was not someone that I sort of idolized either. So that it can be a little trickier when something comes from someone that we hold up on a pedestal in some way, whether it's conscious and we know it, or we're not really admitting it to ourselves, but it's more unconscious. And so that's my second story. My second story, I was doing some coaching and mentoring. I was the one getting the coaching and mentoring. This was a number of years ago. But I had brought, sort of coincidentally enough, I had brought a situation. I don't even remember the situation exactly what it was that I was having with one of my sons to this mentor. And I described some things and I described what I, was looking for. And inside of the story, I was, telling her about the dynamics of a certain situation. And in that situation, I was tickling my son at one point in the situation. And I will never forget, really. Like I said, I don't remember what the actual challenge was, but I remember her saying, "Oh, and don't you think he's getting a little too old for the tickling?" And it was very, very interesting because she put it down like it was a yes, no, right, wrong judgment, but she worded it as a question like, "Don't you think?" And, that was not really a part of the challenge that I brought. So I did not think that. It was just very interesting because this particular mentor was all about non-judgment. And I felt like, wow, that was interesting. And the reason why I remembered this today is because, like, flash forward like years, right? And I was having an interaction with my son, and we're like, moving through, navigating some touchy subjects and some things. And like one of the dynamics of our relationship is physical touch, whether it's like got you last or whether it's me like, doing a little tickle and being like, nope, I'm blocking, just like for fun. So that is again, feedback that was not necessarily asked for, but came in and was not taken, even though that mentor actually was someone that I was like consciously and unconsciously putting up on a pedestal. So this can be challenging, but what I really want to offer you is permission and leadership of yourself, right? You lead yourself. You get to look at everything that comes at you in terms of advice or judgment or counsel, and you get to decide if that resonates, if that is feels like it might be a good thing to take in and try on, or if it just feels completely wonderful and just like, absolutely, I'm taking that. And I do that a lot. Like I will spend time with, I will actively seek to spend time with people who I feel good around, whose energy, in one way or another helps lift me and helps entrain me to like an even more yummy, juicy feeling and part of myself. So it's not that I don't take feedback. I don't take, anything from anybody else. No, but be conscious, be intentional, be thinking, and not just do it automatically because it's a habit, or because, well, it's my boss, or it's my older sister, or it's my mom, or it's my, mentor that I'm paying thousands and thousands of dollars to. No, you are in a space, you are receiving some message, and you get to decide how deeply in that comes. And I just want to offer that to you today. I would love to know what your feedback is. What thoughts, what comes up for you? Who are you receiving counsel and feedback for, and it's working? Or who are you maybe receiving it from that you didn't even realize, oh, I'm automatically taking that, and maybe I can sit with it and I can decide what comes through, and what I think doesn't feel so good, I'm just going to filter out. Okay? Because you are already whole. And if it feels light and if it feels bright, then it's something that can come in and add to the wholeness that is you. And if it's something that feels like a question or like heavy, then that's okay. It's not right or wrong. It's just not congruent. It's just not in harmony with the wholeness that is you. Okay, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day. Bye for now.